Sahanau bhunaktu saha veeryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ninth verse. No, ninth verse we finished. 10th verse. Rajastamascha bhibhuya Sattvam bhavati bharata Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva Sattvam tamas sattvam rajastatha Sarvadvareshu dehesmin Prakasha upajayate Jnanam yada tada vidya Vriddham sattvamithyuta Vivriddham sattvamithyuta Vivriddham sattvamithyuta Lobhah pravritirarambhah Karmanamasamasprha Rajasyetani jayante Vivriddhe bharatarshava Aprakasho pravrittischa Pramado moha evacha Tamasyetani jayante Vivriddhe kuru nandana. Having described 2 of the 5 topics we discussed yesterday, what was that? Guna Lakshana and Bandha Prakara of the 3 gunas. Now we are going into the discussion of Guna Linga. Guna Linga from verses 10 to whatever we chanted till now, 13 or 14? 13. 10 to 13. Guna Linga topic, how do we recognize? How do I recognize that I am, for example, Sattva Guna Pradhana, Rajo Guna Pradhana, Tamo Guna Pradhana. Mind you, this is not for diagnosing other people. Okay? Yeah. This is not for saying, aha, I know somebody just like that. Because it is tempting to do so. Because naturally, the mind is outward, everything is outward, and we will all know many people like that. But in pointing those people out, one person is missed. Who is that? This. Yeah, this person right here is missed away. Because I am so busy looking around the room and saying, aha. And so therefore, this is only for the yardstick which is me. For my own growth, these lingas are given. Not to go around the universe and talking about everybody and saying this one is Rajoguna Pradhana, ayyo, this one keep away from, full of tamas, from head to toe. Like this, if we keep doing that, then this chapter would have been a total waste. And so this is a very important caveat we have to remember. So in the 10th verse, a general introduction is given. Rajaha tamaha cha abhibhuya. Abhibhuya means overwhelming, overpowering. Overpowering what? Rajas and tamas. Sattvam bhavati. Sattva arises. See, nobody, as I said yesterday, we saw the ideal types. The ideal types are only there on paper. They are not there in real life. There is nobody there who is completely sattva. Not possible. Even Deva Sharira has little bit of Rajas Tamas. Nobody is there. Sattva Pradhana we say. Predominantly Sattva, yes. But nobody is there completely Sattva like we saw in the books. So here, now we are looking at the process by which Tamas, Rajas and Sattva predominate. So first Sattva Guna is taken. How does Sattva Guna Pradhanata come to play? It comes to play because the other two are suppressed, overpowered. So, in the one who is interested in becoming a Sattvika, they consciously through certain sadhanas like meditation, karma yoga, the pursuing of Svatmavidyananda, etc., Rajas and Tamas are kept in check. And a disciplined life, eating at certain times, sleeping at certain times. Certain times means class. Okay, so sleeping at certain times, eating at certain times, all these things we practice, and then we become what? Sattva Guna Pradhana. How does Sattva Guna Pradhanya come about is given here, and or any guna for that matter. Rajaha tamaha cha abhibhuya, overpowering, suppressing, overcoming, transgressing, crossing over the rajasic and tamasic tendencies which in the beginning seem insurmountable. One wonders, why should I even bother, because I'm not making any progress. But as soon as one says that, there is already some progress. So by keeping Rajas and Tamas under check, one becomes what? Sattva Guna Pradhana. And then similarly, by keeping, Tamas and Sattva under check, not in the first instance, it is deliberately, because one wants to progress. In the second instance, it is, and the third instance, it is helplessly. Helplessly, by suppressing Sattva Guna and Tamo Guna, one becomes Rajah Pradhanah Purushaha. A person who is too restless, can't do anything. And then likewise, the last line says what? By keeping Sattva and Rajas, by transgressing Sattva and Rajas, Tamo Guna Pradhana one becomes. Meaning these two, there is a kind of a helplessness that happens, and maybe because of previous samskaras that is there, and also some people are naturally sattvic because of previous samskaras, but generally speaking, this is something we all have to work towards. We work towards that, and overriding Rajas and Tamas, one discovers a sattvic temperament. That sattvic temperament is already there. It has to be discovered and held on to, because it is very much like the Jnani's temperament, as we will see in the latter part of the thing. So, abhibhuya means suppressing that. When that gets suppressed, the tamas arises when Rajas and Sattva are suppressed. Rajas arises when tamas and Sattva are suppressed. Sattva comes out when Rajas and tamas are suppressed. Having said this in general, then he gives the linga of each of the pradhana, Sattvaguna pradhana in verse number 11, Rajoguna pradhana verse number 12, Tamoguna pradhana purusha, what they will be like. So then, this one looks funny if we take it literally. Sarvadvareshu dehe asmin prakashaha upajayate. From every orifice of this person, light is streaming out. Has that person become a radioactive isotope? No. It just means it cannot be taken literally. Like the eyes of a cat in the night. In the night, you see the eyes of a cat, they are just glowing. It's not that suddenly the eyes start to glow and everything, all the sense organs are glowing. No. But there is a certain brightness about this person. There is an alertness about themselves, and they are very aware, even though they are deeply in oneself, they are very, very aware of the situation around them, and their reflexes are super quick, and if need be, they can just jump up and do something that is needed. So this is the Sattva Pradhana person. Sattva Pradhana person is bright and enjoys a mindset that is bright and tranquil. So Sarvadvareshu is the Dwara here is all the sense organs. The sense organs are just streaming with light, meaning it's just knowledge. Knowledge meaning they pick up things quickly. Medha Shakti is predominant. You tell something once and then they are able to do. Whereas a Tamah Pradhana person, you tell them and then they go away and then come back and say, what is it that you said? And then like that. And so, because the mind is distracted. And then, then Jnanam Yada Tada Vidyat Vivriddham Sattvam Iti Uta. So when this happens, when that knowledge is evident in seeing somebody you know that they enjoy a certain two things we saw, Nirmalatvat and Prashanta. Nirmala and Prashanti. These two are the qualities most associated with Sattva. And then Prakasham, Anamayam, we saw that. So there is a purity and there is a light and then there is tranquility. These three things are Sattva Guna. So these three things being there, Sattva Guna, you can see that the person is Sattva Guna Pradhana. So like I said, it is not to look for who is the brightest of them all. But what is it for? For analyzing ourselves and our own progress in this path of gunas, our own progress to judge. And then the next one is Lobha Pravrittihi Arambha Karmanam Ashamaha and Spriha Rajasi Vivriddhe Etani Jayante He Bharatarshabha. He Bharatarshabha, O Arjuna, Rajasi Vivriddhe, when the Rajas predominates, increases means predominates. When the Rajas predominates, what happens? Etani Jayante, these things are born. What are they? Lobha. Lobha means too many things I want, more things than absolutely needed. I want shoes. Don't you have shoes? Yes, I have shoes. How many shoes do you have? Well, 5-6 pairs. Then why do you want one more? Well, I like the one that I am seeing. Not necessary, but needed. Like that, there was one Philippines president that was ousted. What was his name? Marcos, yes. And they raided the palace after they disposed of him. And Mrs. Marcos, Imelda, had 3,000 pairs of shoes. A separate closet just for the shoes. Okay, we are not talking of dresses or jewelry, we are talking only of shoes. And so, like this is what is called Rajaf Pravrittihi. And so, meaning, I don't need it. I already have it, not just one. I have one for every weather. I have rain shoes, I have easy walking shoes, I have running shoes, I have this shoes, I have lounging shoes, all kinds of shoes are there. And then I still want more, that means lobha. It's a certain what is called parigraha. Parigraha means the tendency to grab. So lobha pravrittihi arambha. Pravrittihi arambha means I keep wanting to take up under various undertakings. The desire to just take something up all the time. Every Rajasic person keeps making 5-year plans, even though they are not government. Individual 5-year plans. And so even after coming into the spiritual world, spiritual 5-year plans are being made. Okay? And then at the end of 5 years, I will have 15 Upanishads by hearted, and then I will have the Bhashya, and then Tika, Fika means not very nice. And so I'll have all these things. I will be I will be a Pandit on Paninian Sutras. I will rattle off the sutras. Instead of snoring, I will be inhaling Vriddhi Rajaich, and Adengunaha, I will be exhaling the sutras. So somehow something has to be cooked up. Can't sit still. Always cooking up something, and always wanting to put that to light. And so like this, not wrong. If you are interested in the Shastra, that doesn't make one Rajasic anyway. Shastric plans don't make one Rajasic, but all other plans having to do with karma. Shastric plans have to do with Adhyayana, so that is exempt. But karmic plans means what? I'm going to go out there and get this. In 5 years, I want to have the dream job. I want to have a dream house. I want to have a dream spouse and dream children. Not children in the dream children. I want all this by 5 years. In 10 years, I want to be the CEO of the company. In 15 years, I want to do this. Like this, one keeps making plans. And why? Because the mind cannot be still in Rajas. Always just doing it. So that's the second Lakshana, Linga of Rajoguna. What is the third one? Lobha pravrittirarambha. What is the next one? Karmanam ashamaha. No, karmanam ashamaha. Ashamaha means, what is shama? Tranquility. Naturally associated with Sattvaguna. And what is ashamaha? Agitation, non-tranquility. In other words, agitation. The smallest thing disturbs, because one is easily led, discombobulated, led off balance. Smallest thing disturbs. Somebody will be doing something there, I find that annoying. Why? Because it is coming in the way of who I am. So like this, all these things, karmanam, ashamaha, and spruha. Spruha means intense attachment, intense desire. Desire in the form of sangha. Because lobha and spruha otherwise will have the same meaning, will they not? Yes? So look, lobha first one, spruha last one, they are more or less the same. So spruha means an intense longing, as a trishna. Earlier it was talked about as trishna. So that longing, the intense longing is there. The longing is there for what? To keep on doing things, to keep on undertaking something or the other. And then with regard to actions, there is restlessness. And that means what? When these are there, know that there is an increase of Rajoguna. This is how to say one has had a Rajas attack. So one can do that. One can easily understand. So this morning I had a Rajas attack, all of a sudden. Somebody had given me one tea bag. I just put that in hot water and drank it. Suddenly it was just so intense. Everything was very, very intense, sped up. And so I had to drink some glasses of water to calm the body down. Maybe it was too strong or something. No, I was not used to that kind of a tea. So some very strong, what is that called? Strong black tea. And so like this, so this is the Rajas attack. So sometimes when Rajas attacks, you can say Rajas has increased. You can watch and say, okay, this is Rajas attack. And then you can never say this is Tamas attack. Why? When Tamas attacks, so but still there are some lingas. What are there? Aprakashaha, apravrittischa. Aprakashaha means nothing is there. Not available for transaction. The person is not available for transaction. Why? Nothing is lighting up. There is a non-desire to do anything. There is an apathy. There is not wanting to engage in anything. And then what? Aprakashaha, apravrittihi, non-engagement. And then pramadaha, negligence. Mohaha, delusions. When these are there, know, O Kuru Nandana, the delight of the Kuru clan, know that Rajas has, what was the last one? Tamas has indeed increased. So this we can take in two ways. We can take it as these qualities that suddenly overpower one because of circumstances. It can happen. Even though one is predominantly sattvic in nature, Rajas and Tamas are there. They are the secondary gunas. And then suddenly they can attack and make one feel very restless or sleepy or whatever it is. So that is one possibility. And we can also take it as a way to diagnose ourselves, not others, that when am I growing out of tamoguna? When am I growing out of tamoguna into what? Rajoguna. Because from tamas you cannot go straight away to sattva. There is a krama. Krama means there is an order. You cannot suddenly go to sattva. There is an order. And what is the order? Tamas to rajas. So the person who is in tamas must be encouraged to do things. You can't encourage a person who is in tamas, please meditate, do upasana. Will that work? No. What will happen instead? The person will go to sleep. And so therefore you don't prescribe meditation, you prescribe karma yoga. Then after that, when they become more rajasic, then they have desire to become more sattvic, then they can meditate, study, etc. That is the whole idea. So then these two ways we can look at. Now the topic changes again, and then now we are going to see in the next two verses what happens to Sattva-guna pradhana, Rajoguna pradhana and Tamoguna pradhana people after the body dies. Yada sattve pravriddhetu pralayam yati dehavrit tadottamavidyan lokan amalam pratipadyate rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praleenastamasi mudhayonishu jayate. And there is one more verse that comes along with this. I'm trying to see where it is. Yeah. And the 18th verse also must be included here. We'll chant it now. Because it all belongs to the same thing, what happens after death. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasthaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः. Yeah. So yada means when. Sattve pravriddhe. When the sattva predominant person, what happens? Yati, pralayam yati. When the person dies, attains pralaya. Who? Dehabhrit. The person who was carrying the body drops the body, ityartha. Tada uttamavidam lokam. Uttama means what? Exalted. Here it means Ishvara. Uttamavit, Ishvara upasaka. Uttamam vetti iti uttamavit. So the lokas in which the uttamavits revel. Uttamavidan lokan means lokas where the exalted people who are other upasakas, because they may or may not have jnanam. Just because they are sattva pradhana, they may have jnanam, they may not have jnanam, and so we cannot make any assumption there. And so dehabhrit pralayam yanti. So when these people die away, what happens? They gain a certain kinds of lokas along with other upasakas. Uttamavidan lokan pratipadyante. And then amalan means a pure. Malarahitan lokan, amalan, the free of all toxicities, impurities. Wonderful lokas they gain. They gain awesome lokas, and then they are freed of that. And then what else? Then rajasi pralayam gatva. Having died with being rajoguna pradhana, predominantly rajas. Karma sangishu jayate. Then we have to supply, because everything Bhagavan won't tell. So we have to supply that the rajasic person, having enjoyed certain lokas, whatever lokas are there, and that's going to be talked about in verse 18, which is what I chanted here itself. We'll look at that. So having enjoyed whatever lokas according to their karma, they are born. Where are they born? They are born in a family of rajasic people. Karma sangishu jayate. Sattva pradhana people are born in a family of, if they are reborn, if they do not have atma jnanam, they are born, it is talked about in the 6th chapter. What is that? Shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashtha abhijayate athava yoginam eva bhavati kule dhimatam. Prapya punya kritam lokam ushitva shashvati samaha. So having gained punya lokas, the person who was interested in Vedanta but did not make it in this life. Why? Ayatihi did not have put enough effort, even though was full of shraddha. Ayatihi shraddhayopetah. And Kangatin Krishna gacchati. He asked in the 6th chapter. Chinna brahmiva nashyati kim. Will he or she, like the fog, dissipate all the knowledge of Vedanta? So many Upanishads I studied. Next life, blank slate. A for Atma, B for Brahman, all over again. No. The person will gain the connection from the previous life, Bhagavan assures. Sattva carries over from the previous life. How? Because the person is born in a household which is already chanting the Vedas, where they are devout, where sadhu sannyasis visit, where Upanishads are a everyday talk, dinner time talk. Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata is talked about. And then labhate paurva dehikam, they carry the strings and they attach to those strings in the next life and pick up the thread. That is the idea. So here too the same idea is given. But then if one is rajas predominant, then what happens? They are born in a working family full of other rajasic people. Why? Because that is the karma phala. Having enjoyed some kind of lokas, then they are reborn in a family who have karma sangha, means attachment for karma. This can go either way. They can be great karma yogis. One can be born in a family of wonderful karma yogis and then prepare for the knowledge, or one can be born in a family of karmathas. That is also possible. And so then what happens to the thing? Karmanaha tatha pralyenaha tamasi. So when the tamasic, predominantly tamasic person dies away, then moodha yonishu jayate. Moodha yoni means that lower forms of life in terms of the availability of the discriminative ability. Like we saw that. What is that? Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinah sthanu manye anuyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Which chapter? Kathopanishad. Okay. So in the Kathopanishad we saw that. Anye yonim prapadyante. They seek other wombs. Sharirattvaya, because there is a pressure to be born. For they seek other bodies. Sthanu manya, certain others become sthanus, unmoving things, because the tamas is too much. When the tamas is predominant, suddenly they cannot be born in a rajoguna pradhana upadhi. This one will not, the karma will not allow. So they will be slug. That slug, slowly it goes. Snail. Snail is also called slug. And then slug, snail, small, turtle, or small jantus, mushroom, and then plant, creeper. They don't move around too much. So they don't have a lot of viveka, vairagya, spriha, all these things, the finer, abilities, which the rajasic person has and the sattvic person has. The tamasic gunas do not have that. So everything in the world has sattva, rajas, tamas. Even a rock has that. But rock, inert things, mostly tamas. And that's why even food is sattvic, rajasic or tamasic in nature. Food, medicine, everything. And so like this, so the tamasic, tamaf pradhana person is born in what? In adho yonis. Adho yonis from the standpoint of atmajnanam. That is not a possibility for atmajnanam, because perhaps Bhagavan thinks, this time I gave you a faculty of viveka, vairagya. What did you do with it? Nothing. So why waste that life again? Maybe like that. There is a certain kind of a poetic justice. We don't know. And so that is how the moodha yonishu jayate. And then, So then here, let's look at the 18th verse. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasthaha. So those who are sattvaguna pradhana after death go to worlds higher up. Higher up means not a location in terms of quality. Devaloka, Pitraloka, Gandharvaloka, better than this. They enjoy, but it's not permanent. Vapas aayenge, they will come back. They will all come back. And then Urdhvam gachanti sattvasthaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha. Madhye tishtanti means they have a kind of a middling experience in terms of lokas after death. Then what do the tamasas do? Adho gachanti tamasaha. The tamasic people suffer. Why? Because the free will was given to get out of it. Jaghani means like lower lokas. Jaghani, so vrittisthaha adho gachanti. So Jaghana means like what is that? They go down, lowest kinds of gunas the one has, which is means tamas here. So these tamasas go to the experience, go to experiencing dukkha, dukkha yoni, and before that dukkha also. And then verses 16 and 17, let us look at that now. It is just summing up whatever we already know. Karmanas sukritasyahuhu Satvikam nirmalam phalam Rajasastu phalam dukkham Ajnanam tamasah phalam Sattvat sanjayate jnanam Rajaso lobha evacha Pramada mohau tamasah Bhavato jnanam evacha 16 and 17 cover the next topic, the phala, means while living what they enjoy. So 14, 15 and 18 we saw the gati. Gati means after death what happens, and now 16 and 17 while they enjoy what is the result. So the result we already know. Karmanaha sukritasya karmanaha satvikam nirmalam phalam. So the good action is connected, the dharmic action is connected to sattva, and then what happens? Punya is the result. Satvikam nirmalam phalam. So dharmic actions are connected to sattva. And when dharmic actions are done, what happens? The fruit is what? Punya, nirmalam phalam. Then rajasic actions, there is pressure, there is longing, and the pressure and the longing makes one a ball of tension, and then because of that sometimes the longing is so much that the ends justify the means. So one forcibly transgresses those very values which oneself has set up. Oneself wants to be ethical, the heart wants to follow dharma, but the mind does not obey. There is a split. So rajasasya phalam what? Dukkham, papa. Papa, both drishta and adrishta. Adrishta phala also papa, and drishta phala also. They are conflicted in the head and the heart. The heart is telling them the correct thing to do. The head is full of ambitions, and that's why it's called head. Why? Because it gets ahead of itself. And then as a result, what happens? Dukkha is the phala. Drishta phala, immediate result is conflict and fear and dukkha, and then long-term results of the action, rajasic action is also what? Dukkha alone. And then what else? Ajnanam tamasah phalam. The result of actions that are tamasic is what? Ignorance is the phala. Ignorance means what? Ignorance, one can say, oh, it's benign, no problem. Ignorance is a precursor to all kinds of dukkha. It is just a thick veil of confusion. The person is not happy when one is in ignorance. I don't know what to do. I am confused. Should I do this? Should I do that? I am confused. I am sad. I am apathetic. This is the result of a tamasic life. Further, what comes from sattva? Knowledge. Knowledge comes from sattva. This is just a repetition. That's why Adi Shankara gives a nice introduction to this chapter and says, the Lord Krishna is not wrong in repeating. Why? Durvigneyatvat. The 13th chapter must not have been understood by Arjuna. That's why the 14th chapter was made light and repetitive. See how many times the same thing has been identically said. Just a few verses ago we will find Nirmala and Dukkha, and then what else? Lobha, Pramada, all these things, same words are repeated. So that's why Adi Shankara justifies it, because it is a teaching situation. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajasaha lobha evacha. And then pramada mohau tamasaha. So pramada and moha comes from tamas. Rajas, from rajas what happens? Greed is born. Apathy and delusion come from tamas. Apathy, delusion and ignorance come from tamas. Why are we being told this? So that we can choose tamas. Right? Oh. Sattva. So that we can make the correct choice. So that we are not deluded in the choice we make. That's why repeatedly it is being told in so many words. Then the 19th and the 20th verses are how to get out of the gunas. Let us read them. Let us chant them. Nanya gunebhya kartaram, Nanyam gunebhya kartaram, Yada drishtanupashyati, Yada drishtanupashyati, Gunebhyascha param vekti, Gunebhyascha param vekti, Madbhavam sodhigacchati, Madbhavam sodhigacchati. Drashta yada anupashyati. When the seer sees, seer means viveki, the one who knows. So, when the seer means jnani, viveki. When the seer sees, in this case, does not see, na pashyati, na anupashyati, does not see. What does not see? Gunebhyah kartaram anyam na iti. That there is no doer other than the gunas. Gunas are the doer. The gunas make me do things, whether good things or bad things or sleepy things or restless things or sattvic things. Gunas are making me do. I am not the doer. But because of the ignorance, the kartritvam is transferred from the gunas onto what? Me, I. And this is a mistake. So gunebhyah, and very interesting double negative for emphasis. Gunebhyah anyah, other than the gunas, gunebhyah anyah kartaram. So gunebhyah anyah kartarah na pashyati. So there is no other karta than the gunas. This the person knows. Anupashyati means Acharya Shastra Mukhat. Because of having studied with the Acharya and through the mouth of the teacher, through the mouth of the Shastra, this knowledge has come. Anupashyati, in accordance to how it is said in the Shastra, in accordance to how the teacher taught, that is how the person's knowledge is. And what is the knowledge? Gunas are the doer. I am not the doer. Gunas are the doer. So, drashta yada pashyati, when the seer means the person of knowledge, jnani, sees, then gunebhyascha param veti, knows oneself to be beyond the gunas, not affected by the gunas at all. Not affected by the gunas. When that happens, conditional sentence yada tada, when that happens, tada, then madbhavam upapadyate. What is that? Madbhavam agacchati. Last word. Saha. Saha madbhavam adhigacchati. Gains my very nature, meaning gains oneness with me. Because why? That person, this jnani, sees what I see, knows what I know. Meaning, this knowledge, so the Atma Jnanam is the antidote to being caught by the gunas. That doesn't mean that one doesn't have to work and one doesn't have to have a lifestyle of increasing sattva. Because sattva we increase even to understand the jnanam, we need some sattva. We cannot say when the jnanam comes, wake me up, because I will sleep till then. That's not an option. Because ironically, even to drop the gunas, we need sattva. Even to know that the gunas are doing these things, I am the sakshi, I am purusha, to know that one needs sattva guna. Like I gave that pole vault example. So one needs the gunas, and one needs the sattva, and so therefore this is the key. Knowledge is the key, but to gain the knowledge one has to have sattva. Then gunan etanatityatreen देही देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्यु जरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते. Concluding this section, he says, Gunan etan atitya. These crossing these gunas. How? Through Atmajnanam. And what is that Atmajnanam? I am not the gunas. What do the gunas belong to? The body, mind, sense complex. What does the body, mind, sense complex belong to? Prakriti. So the gunas belong ultimately to what? Prakriti. What am I? Kshetrajna. I am Ishvara. And so, Atitya. Gunan etan. How many gunas? 3. In Sanskrit also, 3. So, 3 gunan atitya, having crossed. Then what happens? Janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi. So, crosses over all these vikaras. Birth, death, sorrow, old age. And old age means afflictions. All these afflictions, having crossed them all, gains what? Immortality means knows that one is not subject to death, therefore there is no sorrow. I am not the body, this much is understood, and therefore I am not subject to death, this is also understood, and so therefore there is no death for me. Therefore, if there is no death, there is no finitude, there is no sorrow. In fact, the chapter should have ended right here, right now. But Arjuna has a question. He is waiting to ask this question, and his questions are very predictable. It's the same question that was there in the 12th chapter and the same answer that was given from verse 14 to 20 in the 12th chapter are xeroxed over here. Almost same verses, almost same words. Because he wants Gunatita Jnani's Lakshana. Will the Jnani Lakshana be the same as Gunatita Lakshana? Yes. Because Gunatita is the Jnani. Madbhavam adhigacchati it was said. So it will not be two separate people. This one Gunatita, this one Jnani, this one Sthita Prajna. Like this it's not. It's all the same. And recently only, as recently as 2 chapters ago, we saw those 6 verses and so many qualities. And now, our Lord Krishna should have said, go back to my talk in chapter 12 and please revise. He could have said that. But very patiently, he answers the question. Let us look at the question and answers. Arjuna uvacha Kairlingai strin gunanetan Atito bhavati prabho Kimacharah katham chaitan Trin gunanati vartate Kaihi lingaihi Trin gunan etan atitaha. So, atitaha, the person who has crossed, how does the person become tangible to me? How do I recognize such a person who kaihi lingaihi, by what characteristics can I recognize someone who is a gunatita, O Lord, Hey Prabhu? And then kimacharaha, what is the conduct? Katham cha, how, and further, katham means how. How does the person transcend or go beyond these gunas? This is the question. So 2 questions are there. What are the lingas of a gunatita? This is the fifth topic, this is the last topic of the chapter, as we had said, from this verse to the end, 27th verse. And then how does the person conduct, what is the characteristics? How does the person conduct her or his affairs in the world? How do they move around in the world? And then what else? How do I recognize such a person? These are the questions that Arjuna asks. Typical Arjuna questions, now we know. And then the answer of Bhagavan starts from 22 up till 27. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakashancha Pravrittincha Mohameva cha Pandava Nadveshtis sampravrittani Nanivrittani kankshati. Beautiful answer, wonderful answer. There is a story that two Shishyas were eulogizing and praising their gurus. One of them said that my guru is so elevated. Pahunch gaya means reached somewhere. My guru is so elevated. Pahunch gaya Mahatma they call. My guru is so spiritually exalted that he doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to sleep, and no one has seen him go to the bathroom. This is what one person said in praise of his guru. And the other Shishya, not to be outdone, said, my guru is so exalted, so elevated, so enlightened that whenever he is tired, he sleeps, whenever he is hungry, he eats, and as many times as he needs to, he goes to the bathroom. That's basically this particular verse. What is the connection of the Jnani with the Gunas? No connection at all. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. We saw that earlier in the 3rd chapter itself. And so that's exactly what is said here. And maybe that story was taken from this verse. So prakasham means sattva. It is the linga for sattva. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha. Pravritti means what? Activity. Then moha, dullness, eva. So when prakasham comes, when he has a moment of activity, when he has a moment, he or she, the jnani has a moment of prakasha, enjoys sattva guna, let's say while teaching, etc., enjoys the sattva guna. After that, maybe the person is what? Asked to go do something else. Go open this school, or go see this chhatralaya, or go do something else. Does that. Pravrittimcha, takes it in stride. Then comes back, is tired, promptly goes off to sleep. Okay? So this is the jnani. Does not attach to the gunas and does not keep a diary. I want 90% sattva. Today's sattva quotient is how much? Oh, I am lacking. I have spent more time in rajas. Shoo, rajas, go away. Tamas, I only want sattva. That means what? One is already attaching to the states of being. The states of being belong to who? Prakriti. And Prakriti is who? Ishvara. Prakriti is not separate from Ishvara. So that's why Ishvara does not come under the influence of his own Prakriti. Cannot. Because these gunas have come from Ishvara. So Ishvara being the generator of these gunas via Prakriti, but we need not even go there. Ishvara being the author of these gunas does not come under the spell. Just like the magician who is doing a trick does not come under the spell of the trick. Puts the hand in the hat. Is supposed to take out a scarf. Okay? But a plant comes out. He says, oh, how did this come out? Oh no. Then the magic trick is spoiled for everybody. Similarly, a person telling the joke must not laugh at their own joke even before the punchline. then it is not a good experience for anybody. The person should have straight face. There is a way of telling the joke also. Person should not enjoy the joke. Person should tell with a straight face. Then other people start laughing, then they can also join in and enjoy. But if the other person only starts laughing, slapping the hand on the thigh and falling over, rolling over, even now there are all those emojis. What is that? One of them is ROLF. What does that mean? Rolling on the floor, laughing. Yeah. If the person who is telling the joke before the joke is out is rolling on the floor laughing, then the whole fun of the joke is gone. So like this, Ishvara is Mayi, does not come under the spell of Maya because it is Ishvara's own doing. And similarly, the one who knows I am non-separate from Ishvara, the gunas come and go, let them come. Agate swagatam. Oh, Sattva, wonderful, you have come for a cup of tea. Very nice. Oh, Rajas, okay, let me do something. Let me jump around a little bit. Oh, Tamas, okay, let me go to sleep. Because the person knows these guneshu, these gunas are for the indriyas, these gunas are for the body, these gunas are for the mind, for the sense organs, not for me. So the person, when they come, enjoys them, however they can be enjoyed. When they go, just bids them goodbye, does not lament their absence. That is what is said in the second line. What is that? Nadveshti sampravrittani. So when they come, does not despise them and say, go away, tamas, go away. There is no pressure to be a certain way. And then na nivrittani, when they go away, na kankshati, does not have a longing for them to come back. Towards the end of his life, Pujya Swamiji would go to sleep in the middle of the class. Some days, twice a day dialysis towards the end. Still he taught. He would come in a reclining wheelchair, would be brought here means not here, but brought to the front of the class, would sit and then start talking. But that dialysis is so tiring for the body. It is exhausting. And kidneys are not working, heart is not working, eyes are not working, ears are not working, lungs are not working. One part of the lung was removed towards the end of his life. In this condition also he taught. There is about 146 classes called Pramana Vichara. It's just amazing. And so he would teach. Sleep would come. And everybody would wait for him to wake up. Sometimes the sleep would be till the end of the class. And then he would be wheeled out because the class time is over. Sometimes the sleep would be only for 5 minutes. This little small bird nap, like birds take a little nap, he would wake up. And then he would just pick up and then start teaching again. And then sometimes it would be 15-20 minutes later he would wake up. And in the beginning he wouldn't even know he had slept. He would say something is different. What? And then people would tell him, Swamiji, you went off to sleep. Oh, that's all. That was all the reaction. Oh. And then he would say, for how long? And then they would say, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. And then he would say, okay. Yes, and then he would say, it is not just my karma, it is your karma also. Your karma also, bhukto. So that is the hallmark of a jnani. There was no apology, because it was beyond him. It was beyond him. And then somebody said, it seems to him, why are you teaching in this condition? They asked him, out of a sense of love and devotion, of course. And then all he had to say is, what is the reason I should not teach? Give me a reason that I should not teach. That's all. Because teaching is here, I am here, I can't teach. Until I can teach, I will teach. And so this is how it was. And we didn't see any apology, we didn't see anything feeling bad, oh my God, why do I have this body? No anger there. It was just total acceptance. And one day no sleep came and he was just like, see, very happy. So like this, it's just enjoying what is there, enjoying the temperament, not attaching to the temperament and identifying with it as I. Few are there, we'll finish it tonight. And any questions, you please put it in the bin. We will have question answer also. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi